it's about, I got about 6 minutes after, 7 minutes after, and there might be a few more that'll join us. And this is recorded anyhow, so the ones who couldn't make it, we'll get it on our tech channel and also the ISC website. But one quick thing I'd like to just bring up to everybody, it seems, and this is a little bit aside from our agenda tonight, but I do want to make it known that it seems that scammers are hitting our website pretty hard these days. And I was hoping Will would be here, but they've taken some of our emails and sending out to some of the board and other officers, and it could possibly go into some members. I don't know that, I've not heard, but be aware of it. And they're pretty rampant these days.
So Jody, you were really not in a jail in Africa? I sent money.
Yeah.
It's the kind of emails asking you to open a link and check the invoice. And I'm sure when you open that link, you'll get infected. So
yes,
if it's from ISC or from Lynn O'Donnell, forget it.
Yeah, it appeared it came from the officers meeting email, because I emailed folks about it.
Yeah, I believe you're right. Yeah, not the first time it's happened, but just again, want to make everyone aware. So, all right, well, let's dive into Sun and Fun, and I guess Lynn's not here, but anyhow, I'll kind of fill in because she's a flight leader. It's coming up next month, April 5th through the 10th. Mark, Casey, before everybody got on, had a question, and I'd like to kind of get this out in the open, but what is the requirements going into Sun and Fun if your plane does not have ADS-B? Is there a way to do that? Or what could you?
Yes, there is. There is, and I'm told it's a pretty simple procedure. I'll find out. I'm catching a plane tomorrow to go down for a chairman's meeting at Sun and Fun on Saturday. So that's very timely, but I've forgotten the name of the app, but it's, I'm told, a pretty simple procedure. And I'm happy to get back to you, Casey, individually, or the group as a whole with that information. There's an acronym for it. I'm just, if I went and got my notes, I probably got it in my notes from the last meeting last month, but I'm happy to report back on that.
Okay. Yeah, I think they're right on that, the edge of that veil, if I remember correctly. It's been a while. Yeah,
you're right between Tampa and Orlando airspace, and I believe they overlap as far as the veil. So it's, but the by flying the procedure, and they've got a an arrival NOTAM similar to what Oshkosh has, and flying that procedure will put you in violation. So, but you can get a waiver.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Appreciate the input. So we will have a group dinner on Thursday. This will be at Mission Barbecue. Also, I believe on Thursday, and Brett, tell me if I'm wrong, but you are giving a presentation on the Stinsons. Do you want to talk about that just a minute?
Yeah, it's the same presentation I've given in the last 3 years. The Stinson, the best value in aviation. And it's targeted towards anybody that's thinking about buying an airplane and convincing them or explaining that why Stinson is one that they should consider. So I don't have a time slot yet.
All right. So stay tuned on Thursday for Sun and Fun. Brett giving a presentation, and then super.
Yep. And Mark, thank you, and Julie for sending me that information that helped me get in there.
Absolutely. We're excited.
Yep.
Is
No.
that going to be recorded? Do you know?
Not that I know.
Yeah, Randy Phillips generally does our recordings. So are you coming to Sun and Fun, Randy?
I don't have plans to right now. If there's a way to do it, I will. But I'll just have to find out, the day before, basically, what's going to be happening with my schedule and everything. So,
All right.
if I can get down there, I will. But I wouldn't plan on it right now.
Well,
Okay.
But if somebody else wants to record it, I'll be happy to do the editing on it and put whatever your PowerPoint presentation into it and get it up on the tech channel.
Well, don't make a special trip because of this presentation, because Randy, it's basically the same presentation with a little tweaks that I add throughout the years. So it's very similar to what's already on YouTube.
Okay. All right.
Well, I don't know. Do make a special trip, Randy. I think you need to be there. It's very important.
All right. You talk me into it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, super. Hey, I don't mean to jump the gun, but Randy did have a request that he may have to bug out on us. Since he's here right at the moment, I do want to talk about the Stinson Summit, and that is September the 15th through the 18th. Notice we've added an extra day. Where we've met on a Friday, had our presentation Saturday, and then left Sunday. This has grown to be probably one of the biggest Stinson gatherings, and most certainly for the technical information and presentations that you'll see. But we want to incorporate some flying, whether it's spot landing or a chicken drop or a fly out. We have ongoing plans for this, and certainly one that you will not want to miss. In the past, we've had this at Beaumont, Kansas, and we're going to start moving this around. And this year, it's going to be in Quincy, Illinois.
Where?
Quincy, Illinois. Randy, would you like to kind of fill us in on the latest that you know of and what's
Sure.
going on?
Well, first off, the identifier is KUIN. For anybody that is wanting to have that, it's basically my home airport. I have my airplane close by there, but that's where I did a lot of my flying over the years. I've been in contact with the airport manager there and her assistant, and as things happen, the airport manager decided to resign here about 2 weeks ago and go to an airport in St. Louis. So her assistant's been taking care of all this. But what we've got lined up so far is we have a good sized meeting room in the lower level of the terminal that we can get in there and have our seminars. I've talked with the assistant there and at the time the airport manager. The city of Quincy is very pro events and tourism, and they are going to provide us a bus from the city to get to and from the airport to the hotels wherever we're at. And the Convention Visitors Bureau, and it's called Quincy, SEE Quincy. They have inroads to get discounts at hotels, and we have multiple good sized, very nice hotels here in town as well. So we have that going for us. They're going to see about getting us a food truck out there. There's a airport restaurant. We certainly want to patronize them, but for maybe a lunch or a dinner some evening or whatever, we'll have a food truck out there. Quite a few nice restaurants in Quincy as well we can go to. As far as flying out, Quincy's insurance does not allow to have spot landings or chicken drops or things like that and stuff. A nearby airport where in fact, it's where I keep my Stinson. Mount Sterling, which is India 63. It's about a 10-minute flight away. The airport manager there has said, certainly come on over here and drop all the rubber chickens you want and spot land as much as you want. Have a good time and enjoy yourself over here. It's a north-south. I think it's right at 6,000 foot runway. The company that I fly co-pilot for keeps a Citation Mustang there, and they bring their Phenom in there all the time too. So it's plenty of room to get in and out of there. And there's also, if we wanted to do it, take an afternoon or several hours one day and do like a poker run kind of thing. We've done that in the past around here. There's multiple small airports in the area that we can go and leave a deck of cards at each one, and then just go in and grab your card and come back, and whoever wins gets a special prize that Jody will provide, I'm sure. So but we got a lot of things happening here. More plans will be concreted up as time goes by, but that's the basics of it. The city is very excited, and the tourism bureau is very excited to have that kind of event here, and they're wanting to promote the airport as much as possible. The one negative I will say is if you look at the diagram of the airport, you'll see there's 3 runways. At that time, there will be at least 1, if not 2 runways out of service. Runway 422, as you sit on either end of it, has kind of a hump in the middle, and they're going to be taking that hump out, and that's going to be a major project to get that much dirt moved. But they will always have at least 1 runway open, which we're used to at Beaumont anyway. So but we certainly have plenty of room there, and if we did run into bad weather while we're there, multiple very large hangars that we can get the planes into and store them while whatever's blowing through blows through. So a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah, this is going to be, I think, pretty neat to have a change of scenery. Although Beaumont was a nice facility and accommodated us very well. But, someone's phone.
Sorry, I got phone's ringing here. Sorry. Brett.
But hey, Brett, would you like to share with the surveys that we sent out to folks who have attended, and just kind of do some, go over the highlights with that and what?
Yeah. So I will, Jody. So I can't see anything because I've got the survey up here on the front of the screen, but I'm just going to cover the high points. And so when I did the survey, I accidentally sent it to everybody, everybody in the Stinson Club, people who attend and people who didn't attend. And I did that by accident, but actually it brought back some interesting information that I was not expecting. So the 3 points that came out on the survey that were emphasized is there was a very high perceived value of the technical sessions. They were off the charts, really. And then the other thing is the value of the camaraderie among the people who have attended was high. Now, it was high there amongst the people who, of course, attended. The people that didn't attend got the same survey, and they put it pretty low. So obviously, and then we also got some good input from the preferences of the venue for the events. So it was done on Google surveys. It wasn't real in depth, but we did have for 2021. I asked the question, what years have you attended the Stinson Summit? And what was peculiar is, of course, 2021 by itself was, we had more people attend it than any other years, actually the other years combined. So, and I think that was partially because of the heavy promotions that I did on Facebook. I would stop by Beaumont and do a video here and there, and after every time I did that, we had one or two people RSVP. And so, you guys may have got real bored of me talking live from Beaumont, but it actually worked. We asked the question what the type of venue they would prefer. The two things that really we ask them if they need a runway right next to where the seminars are at, and like Beaumont, and it was kind of split. People they didn't really care. It didn't make a whole lot of difference. Let's see. Again, the value of the technical sessions were good. When you think this was an interesting question. I used to be involved in customer surveys for a major boat manufacturer. That's where a lot of these goofy questions come from. And so I said, when you think of attending, what do you think of? And the way there was an option, it was a check the box, and the camaraderie with the fellow Stinson owners, joint meals, storytelling on the porch, etc. Was actually higher than the technical sessions. So I found that interesting. And then when we think of, those are the people that attended, but the people who did not attend, they thought the technical sessions would be the highest value. How likely are you to recommend the Stinson Summit to a friend? That was a very high score as well. And of course, the people who did not attend rated that down. So go figure. Where did you stay? Most of the people stayed in at the Beaumont Hotel or a tent or RV. And then others said did not stay overnight, just came in for the day, off-site or in the car. Some people still slept in their cars. How much would you be willing to pay to attend? And basically led people to believe that if we move this to another location, there may be a cost involved. The highest score was $100. Everybody said they thought $100 would be fair. Next highest was 50. The lowest was 75, and 150 was the lowest. So people would be expecting to help cover the cost if we have a cost that we need to recover. What state did you come from? Kansas, of course, was the highest, and then Texas. But I have found it peculiar that there is a lot of Stinsons in Kansas and Oklahoma. And I find it peculiar that we can't get more people to attend from Kansas and Oklahoma or Missouri. So we can collaborate to fix that. It just seems like some of the local people don't come. Now this is really interesting. This will fall right into place where we're going to have more rooms. We ask if adequate rooms are available, how likely are you to stay in the hotel? And they all said, yeah, they would be likely to stay and not go off-site. And then we asked questions for improvement. If you were in charge of the Stinson Summit, what would you change? Things like add more technical questions, add an extra day for technical seminars, charge active Stinson Club members less than non-members, give away oil, and things like that. Randy, did I share this a survey with you?
I don't remember seeing this, but
Okay.
yeah,
I will send it with you because it may help guide some things for the next year. And then we got some negative. What would you like? What did you like least about the Stinson Summit was a question. The campground at Beaumont is poor. I would agree with that. Having to sleep in my car. Just wish the hotel had more rooms, limited hotel rooms, long wait for lunch. We did overwhelm the staff, and unfortunately, Beaumont did not staff up for our event. Not enough accommodations, remote location. Beaumont is in the middle of nowhere. So that's what they meant by that. And the winds, several people complained about the winds, and I'm sure Randy will take care of that in Illinois. It'll be much more pleasant there. Why have you not attended the Stinson Summit? Was a question. Because I did not have access to my Stinson when the event, it was down. And they would have came in their Mooney, but as we know, Beaumont is not real suitable for a Mooney. Work schedule, etc. There was not a whole lot to learn from there. So those are the high points, and I will share this with Randy and anybody else that wants to see it. But the other thing is our sample size is, pretty small, but there's still some things that we could learn from that. So that's it.
All right. Thanks, Brett. As you were talking, I was trying to remember, there's 5 of us here that was there, or, at least, or 6 of us on this call that were there at Beaumont this year. But does anyone remember how many planes we had? I want to say it was at 27. Does that sound right?
That sounds more like Oshkosh than Beaumont, but
Yeah,
I thought it was like 18 or 19.
Yeah, I think that's about what it was. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Julie, did you count them?
You know what? I've got footage from my drone.
Yeah.
So I can make a count from when at least when I flew that.
All right.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I know it was one of our largest Stinson fly-ins ever at Beaumont this year. So, or last year. So that's good. For you new guys that's just joined us, if you can put the Stinson Summit on your calendar. You won't go wrong there.
For sure. We love it.
It's a great time.
So, all right. Well, let's just move on here to our next fly-in that we've got coming up. Just right after Sun and Fun, just a couple weeks after Sun and Fun, or actually, I think a couple weeks there, maybe 3. It's called the Mid-America Flight Museum. This is in Mount Pleasant, Texas. For folks that don't know about the Mid-America Flight Museum, they have several locations. But what is very, very neat about this is they have 2 Stinson tri-motors. They've got the low wing and the high wing. They have an 1819. They've also got a Stinson Junior. And I can't remember if it's an L5 or an SR. I'd have to double check on that. Otherwise, they've got several Stinsons. They're open from 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock on Saturdays. They fly these planes. They've got from P-51s to, I think, B-17. Lots of planes there, and they try to keep them all flying. But this is just if you're looking at the like the Dallas Fort Worth area, it would be kind of to the northeast of Dallas Fort Worth. Maybe, I don't know, 100 miles just off the top of my head here. But so this, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Name of the airport again?
It is Mount Pleasant, and its identifier is KOSA. And I have been told that if they are out flying one of the Stinson tri-motors or a Stinson, we may very well get a ride in one. So, but I am planning to be there on a Friday, and then we can have a group dinner if you'd like, and then so we'll be there bright and early Saturday morning. I'm sure others will fly in, and then we'll have a lunch there at the museum, and then the rest of the day is yet to be determined just yet. So there might be some fly in or a fly out.
What are the dates again, Jody?
I've got April 29th through May the 1st. Primarily, this is going to be a Saturday event mostly. But
It's my birthday.
there you go, Amy.
I knew I shouldn't have unmuted.
Hi, Amy.
So, yeah, I mean, if you can make it, would love to have you there. I would say go ahead and get you a hotel. They do have a couple courtesy cars at Mount Pleasant. But we'll make sure we get everyone around and to the hotels and back and that sort of thing.
Jody, is there going to be a preferred hotel there? Have you got any information on one? Just have to find one, or?
Yeah, I'm staying at the Holiday Inn Express there in Mount Pleasant. So I think they have, let's see, the other hotel that I looked at. Gosh, I've drawn a blank. I can't remember what it was just right off the top of my head, but there's several around there, local, and they've got at around the hotels plenty of places to have breakfast, lunch, or dinner as well.
Same goes with the Stinson Summit. Is there going to be a preferred hotel for that, or?
There will be one that yet to be named, but there's plenty of them in Quincy, and there'll be a group rate from what I'm told by the city and everything. Real quick, that I've looked, and the summit video shows there was 18 planes there.
Okay.
So, and I do have to run, guys. Thanks for everything. I'll let everybody know what comes up as things come up.
All right. Thanks, Randy.
Hi,
Appreciate
Randy.
Thank you.
Randy.
See you later.
See you at Sun and Fun.
Yeah.
So, all right. Let's look at Columbia. This is in Columbia, California. Sherry Lynn is the flight leader on this. It was confirmed just, I think, a little over a week ago that we will have this. It was kind of questionable whether the county was going to allow us to have that fly-in, but it is on for June the 24th through the 26th. And again, if you've never been there, that is a really neat airport. Great location, kind of set back in a sense of somewhat like what Beaumont was, but a few more businesses and some local hotels there as well. But they constantly have it seems like a chicken drop and maybe a spot landing and
So
Bob?
real quick, yeah, I'll give you a quick background. This is the oldest fly-in of the Stinson Club. This originated back in the late 70s when the club started out as the Southwest Stinson Club, and it's the park is it's actually an airport that has a camping ground just for pilots, has a meeting venue just for pilots, and we actually have several memorials and for the Stinson Club. That were erected there, and it's kind of the home base, if you will, for, I wouldn't say the home base, I would say the genesis of the club itself. And so a lot of the old timers go there. There's a grass strip. It's a California fire base as well, and it's within walking distance of a California state park that is it's an old gold town, plus some pretty cool restaurants and stuff. And it's the fly-in that I grew up going into, starting back in 1980 with the first Stinson.
Yeah, I've attended it. I think it was 2 years ago. Great fly-in. I'm so glad I went. So I'm sure Sherry will update us as we get closer to that, and hopefully get something in our newsletter as well. All right. Well, let's talk about Oshkosh and our Watertown pre-Oshkosh gathering. Most of you guys that I've seen on here, I believe have joined us on this at some point or another. So what we usually do, for ones who don't know, that we will get together at Watertown, Wisconsin, and we'll have a group dinner, and the next day we'll do a little formation flying as a practice run, and then generally go on into Oshkosh the next day. I did notice an error in the newsletter. It's got July the 22nd through the 24th. It's actually the 22nd, 23rd. If you have not gotten your hotel room, please do that. They were running pretty short. I believe there's a large wedding that came in and got quite a few rooms. There's the Best Western, which used to be a Holiday Inn Express. It is within 1 block of the FBO. That really is what makes it kind of nice to you fly in, you got the FBO right there, and 1 block you got the hotel. If you go across the street, there's a Super 8. And I recommend either one of those hotels. But if you've not gotten your room, do so. Otherwise, you may be pitching a tent. And that's okay if you have to do that.
Just to be clear, July 22nd and 23rd, and then on the 23rd, we're descending on Oshkosh?
Yes, you're
Okay.
correct. Yep. Yeah, and I know Mike is not on here. Mike White. I am turning over the formation flying to him. He has got lots of experience, and so I'm going to let him handle that part of the gathering practice run, if you would, into Oshkosh. So as we look into Oshkosh, we'll get there that Saturday. I do have us secured parking, not in the place we were last year, but this will be close in that vicinity. And I'll stay in contact with those guys, and they have assured us that they will put us a number of spots back for our Stinson group. So if any of you've ever been to Oshkosh and didn't go in or get there early, it could be you can go maybe a couple miles to the end. It's a long haul. So but that would be a huge advantage, joining us at the Watertown, and then just making your way on into Oshkosh with us or right behind us, either way, and getting to park all together. That Monday evening, we will have another group dinner as we did last year at TJ Harbor's restaurant. So we've got that place. That place is rented to us. I believe we had somewhere around, it was well over 100 folks, and I want to say close to maybe 115 to 120. But that was a really nice dinner, probably one of the best that we've had since I've been going as a group, and the largest group for sure.
And what evening is that dinner again, Jody?
That would be the Monday, which I think is at the 24th.
Okay.
Let me look at my calendar here. No, it's the 25th. Yeah, that's Monday the 25th. Is when we'll have our group dinner.
Okay.
The 27th, this is something new that we're going to try to do this year at Oshkosh, which is Wednesday. They have a night show, a night air show. And if the Stinson folks want to get together, we'll have a little pizza party and watch the air show together, you know, at a location to be determined, but I think I've got us a pretty good place located. Anyone want to talk about Oshkosh? Oh, yeah, here we go. I just about to forget this. So, Brett, I'm coming to you on this. We will have 3 guest speakers in 3 different forums. Brett, you're going to talk about the Stinson Best Value in Aviation. I
Yes.
believe that's going to be in the general EAA forums and also the vintage forums, correct?
I don't know that it'll be in the vintage area. I have requested 2 slots in the vintage area. Last year we were lucky to get 2, and they talk like it would be lucky to get 1 the following year. So I propose that my presentation not be held in the VAA area and allow a technical session on the Franklin engines or the Stinson airframe. And because, you know, I'm talking to a specific, a group of an audience. Hey, that looks like a good drink there, Jody.
It's ginger ale, okay?
Okay. So, you know, I'm talking to people that are probably not well as entrenched in the EAA or the VAA. So I think we're better off having the technical sessions there. I'm looking to have mine 1 or twice out in the general forum area, as well as the technical sessions. I'm trying to get slots out there as well.
Yeah, 2 of the speakers that we for sure are going to have is Tim Hogan. He gave one this past year on the Franklin engines. He's going to do another. And then another guy by the name of Dave James will give a presentation on the Stinson airframe and maintenance. So 2 good presentations at Oshkosh you'll certainly want to watch and attend.
Yeah, and so those 2 presentations will probably maybe as many as 3 times, once each in the VAA and probably a couple times out into the general session. So I've made those reservations, but we'll see what they come up with.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. Anything else we want to add or questions on Oshkosh? No. Okay. Let's see. The next fly-in, since we've talked about the Stinson Summit, would be Triple Tree. This is September the 19th through the. Hold on. I think they put it in our newsletter wrong. It should be the 15th through the 19th. So this is in Woodruff, South Carolina. The identifier is SCOO. Mike White, who you heard me mention earlier. He's the flight leader on that. If you've never been to Triple Tree, I've been a few times. It is an awesome fly-in. The runway is about 400 foot wide, 7,000 foot long. It's all grass and lots and lots of planes. It is a first class fly-in to go to. And so we'll have our Stinson representation there as well. So if you can join us, put that on your calendar.
Jody,
Yes.
Julie just pointed out that appears to be the same dates as the Stinson Summit. Is that correct?
Oh, you know what? I'm glad you did that. So the summit, yeah, the summit is the 15th through the 18th. And I believe that might be wrong because it seems like I think the dates on that is wrong. I believe that is the 22nd through the 25th, the Triple Tree.
Okay. Yeah, Triple Tree is amazing. They've got a 5,000 foot by 500 foot irrigated bent grass runway.
Wow.
It's the only grass runway I've ever seen that a jet land on. It's quite an experience, and the shower houses have marble countertops and built-in hair dryers, and it's something to see if you haven't been there.
It is pretty fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one reason. I got with Randy about let's look at moving our Stinson Summit so that if somebody wanted to attend the summit and Triple Tree, because that was on the same weekend, is the reason we moved it up. So, folks want to attend that, but yeah, it's a great fly-in.
So when is the summit?
It's the 15th through the 18th.
I thought you said Triple Tree was the 15th through the 19th.
I just looked on the website. It says September 19th through the 25th, 2022. So they have expanded it. So it starts out slow earlier in the week, but it appears to go through the 25th.
So
And
19 to 25 for Triple Tree?
yes. And they're also, if you're going to Sun and Fun, they have what's called Uncle John's fly-in the weekend before Sun and Fun. Let me get you the dates there. April 1 to 3. So if you're headed down that way, it's a nice little stop off if you want to do that on the way down to Sun and Fun. And it's SC00, I believe, is the identifier.
Yes, you're correct. So that's at Triple Tree, April the 1st through the 3rd.
So if you just look up Triple Tree Aerodrome, it'll take you to the site.
Okay. All right. The next fly-in we've got on our list is Ranger Airfield. This is the RAF, September the 30th through October the 2nd. This is in Ranger, Texas. And another good old, grassroots fly-in that if you've I know several, Eddie, you've made it there before. I don't know if anyone else here has been on there, but it is a really neat, not only a fly-in, but a bit of an air show that they'll have and barbecue. But it's a neat place.
It's laid back, easy to get to, easy to get in and out of.
And people are
friendly as they can be there. So
it's fun.
it's a fun place
Lots
to
of
go.
flying. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll probably have to, they do have hotels or you can camp. And then there's I believe at least one, maybe two restaurants within walking distance that you can get to there. And there's food there at the fly-in. So, and by the way, all of this, for you members, this is in our Stinson newsletter. So if you need to refer back to it, just look at the newsletter and you'll see it. Bob, you were talking about a fly-in that you're looking to put on or host.
Well, my air park in New Hampshire is having a big event on August 20th. And I've checked with the board and they're willing to have it, incorporate a Stinson gathering as well. So I'll have the banner up and can, serve as host for any Stinsonites that show up. It's going to be August 20th all day, rain or shine, and which is a Saturday. And then that'll be the main activity is the daytime. And there'll maybe be some, spot landings and whatnot, but it's a beautiful 4,000-foot grass runway in the Mount Washington Valley of New Hampshire, surrounded by homes, fabulous air park. And it'll be a fun event. And that evening, we're going to have a Marshall Tucker tribute band and dancing in a hangar and food and stuff. If anyone wants to hang around, we can provide transportation to nearby hotels and or place to pitch your tent next to the runway if you want to just stay there. But I'll be getting information out in the newsletter to make it official. But August 20th, if you don't feel like going all the way to Texas from wherever you are, but New Hampshire is more achievable, come on up. Beautiful place.
What's the identifier, Bob?
November Hotel 69er, NH69, Windsock Village Air Park. And it's 4,000 feet by 200 feet lighted. Probably the nicest grass runway in New England and just a fun community.
Thank you.
All right. Does anyone else have a fly-in that you know of, or that you'd like to, or if anyone wants to host a fly-in?
Jody, I wondered if anybody ever attended the Sentimental Journey fly-in in Lock Haven, Pennsylvania. It seems that at least my Stinson was one of the late 103s. Wasn't a Piper Stinson, but it was one of the group that. So I feel there's some connection there, and as Bob points out, us in the Northeast, that's around the corner compared to some of these others I'd love to get to. I don't know if I'm going to get to Oshkosh this year, but I'm thinking about going down there. I just didn't know if anybody from this group has gone.
We have had an organized presence at Sentimental Journey for a long time, but Lynn O'Donnell was the one who bird dogged it, and she lives in Florida now.
Right.
If someone wants to be the point person, I'm the Northeast Regional VP, but it's a little far afield for me to get something organized down there. But I'd happy to get the banner to someone who's more local if they wanted to organize a presence. We've done it over past years, and they have welcomed us. They consider Stinson sort of secondhand Pipers, if you know what I mean. So they have welcomed us in the past.
Right. Well,
So if you'd like to host that, Henry, just let us know, and we'll kind of fill you in on that.
all right. I'm trying to see what the schedule looks like to do that, but I'll be might be a good fit. And I'd like to come to yours too, Bob, in New Hampshire. I'm looking that up right now.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great place. You'll enjoy it. You'll want to buy a place here. It was a lifelong dream to have my airplane in the backyard, and 18 years ago, I finally did it.
Good.
Goodness. All right. Well, I guess that's pretty much the list for the fly-ins. Does anyone have any questions or anything going on that you want to talk about?
Jody, I'd like.
Go ahead, Brett.
Yeah, thank you. I'd just like to throw out the idea is if there's any ideas that we could get more people on the Stinson website and away from Facebook. I am off of Facebook. I'm done with Facebook.
Yeah.
And I'm just disappointed to see the lack of traffic at the website.
Yeah, Will's done a outstanding job
Yeah.
of trying to develop the website to be more of a an information, what am I looking for here? The
Oracle, if you will.
Yeah.
Stinson stuff.
Yeah. There's
Awesome.
a ton of information on it. And if you get to digging, I mean, he has put all kinds of documents, and from pictures to drawings, you name it, lots and lots of history there, and has done an outstanding job. And so, yeah,
No,
if we can get,
he really has. And Brett, I got to respond to it since I run the Facebook place. I always think of the Facebook as the feeder to this to membership. I mean, it's where the eyeballs are, and you got to go where the eyeballs are. There's the highest number of people, and I know you're frustrated with Facebook. I am as well, but again, we've grown the membership of Facebook from 300 to it's almost 2,000 people, and our big challenge right now is converting those people to paying members versus unpaid members. So your point's a very good one, but I think there's an ecosystem here, and I think both are needed.
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. Our club membership is a little over 700 members now.
Wow.
So we've seen a huge increase. But and our dues are only I think $30 for the
That's
basic,
tiered, right?
and for the premium is $40. So it's not too out of line. But
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we need to, the problem is Facebook. I stay in touch with the Facebook page because it's so easy.
It's easy,
lazy.
right?
We
Right.
need to probably communicate a little better how to interface with the website, and maybe I need to invest a little time into looking into that, but Facebook's just too easy.
Yeah, so if you go onto our website, Will has been able to bring the Facebook to the website. So if you're on it, you can see what's going on. You can't post from our website to Facebook, but
Yeah.
it's at least there.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
If we're switching gears, Jody, in the in between topics here, I found a photo of the presentation at our last Sun and Fun meeting, and I just emailed you a photo that shows the ADAPT is the acronym, ADAPT, I believe, for the workaround. This is addressed to Casey and anybody else who's interested, but the workaround for the ADSB at Sun and Fun.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. I looked that up as well while we were listening to the other guys talk. But yeah, I've heard about that before. I've never done it, so I'm gonna look into it, and it sounds pretty easy. The way
I'm told it's pretty easy. And if you're coming down and anybody else who's interested, Julie and I will be there all week. And we both work in air operations. So we do know a few people. I can't really make a commitment, but we happen to know the guy that runs the vintage parking. And if we got a head count of, who we might be expecting, we'd certainly try to get some space together where we could park together. So
Can I
if we
interject?
can spread the word that anybody that's interested, let us know.
If I could interject one thing on this ADSB and trying to get an exemption from the requirement. Some of the people in the FAA really are your friends and are there to help you. And I happen to be friends with one of those people. And he's told me that basically they're planning on handling it the way the Mode C requirement was when it first came out. Initially, they were extremely generous on giving waivers. If you didn't have Mode C, you could very easily get a waiver to fly into the 30-mile ring or go to an airport that technically required it. But then gradually, as people had more and more time to comply, they intentionally got more stingy about granting waivers and eventually just stopped except for true extreme emergency needs. And so he said, that's what we can expect with the ADSB. For the first couple of years of the mandate, it's going to be easy it'll be almost a snap. However, that's going to change as time goes on, so don't get used to it. Thought I'd pass that along.
Are we still in the easy, generous phase?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're in easy right now, according to my friend, but we're already almost, we're in 2022 and the mandate started in 20. And he said the first couple or 3 years of the Mode C went, pretty generously, and then they started getting progressively more stingy. And he thinks that's the same thing is going to happen here.
Okay.
Yeah, Bob's right. And I think we'll probably get a few more years just because of COVID and supply chain issues, but Bob's spot on.
I would think the waivers tend to be a little easier for big events like Sun and Fun and Oshkosh. I mean, I'm just guessing, but
Yep.
that you guys opinion as well.
There seems to be more systematic procedures to get through it at those events because they realize more people are attending. But it's a lot of it's up to the local FSDO and the FAA, whoever's assigned to the event.
Okay.
For the planning of the event, excuse me.
Yeah, by the way, if you're planning to go to Oshkosh and haven't been in a few years, they have extended the arrival procedure. So certainly take a look at that. And again, that's a benefit. If you've never been and you meet us at Watertown and you want to follow us in, then certainly it's just follow the leader, and we'll get you in there. So it takes a lot of stress if you're flying correctly. And
I was going to say it adds some stress too.
It can add some stress, exactly. So yeah, it's yeah, but it was different this last year, and it's certainly not without a bit of a challenge, and expect a curveball thrown at you at some point.
Jody, if you're done with ADSB, I got a question for Mark.
Sure, what you got?
Mark, I know there's been a lot of construction supposedly happening at Sun and Fun. Is that going to affect our, I'm going to be driving down this year. I'm not going to try the 470 plane is this quick in getting it done. But
oh, come on.
I'm brave, but I need to get some hours on it first.
Okay.
Anyway, is it going to change the campgrounds such as that?
No.
Is it? No.
Nope.
Okay.
Not for this year. There are some changes going on that I think is going to accelerate. There are lots of rumors going around about Amazon taking over the airport, but that's not going to happen. The former, as of yesterday, I think was his last day, the director of the Lakeland Airport that oversaw all this tremendous growth is now across to the south side of the field as the new president of Sun and Fun. So we are just thrilled. We're friends with this guy, and it's all good. And Sun and Fun's just going to go to a new level. And there's big things happening, but no, for this year, things are going to remain the same. There will be some big changes coming down the road, but you can count on the same as you've seen in the past.
Okay. I'm almost sorry to hear that. Sun and Fun reminds me of the Oshkosh of 25 or 30 years ago, and I miss that Oshkosh. So it sounds like I'm going to start missing Sun and Fun.
Well, how long since you've been to Sun and Fun?
5 years or so at this point.
Well, you really need to come back and see the educational component. They have now got, I think, 150 high school age private pilots. And they are cranking out private pilots and A&Ps from the high school there, the Central Florida Aerospace Academy. And Sun and Fun's mission now is youth education and STEM education, and it's just tremendous what they're doing. all this growth on the airport, the Sun and Fun is providing the people the jobs, you know, the training to get the jobs, be it flying or fixing the airplanes. And Julie and I were just there last week and got to tour the high school and also the ACE, the Aerospace Center for Excellence. And you wouldn't believe what they're doing. It's just phenomenal. So it's a great thing. Yeah, it isn't the grassroots flying it used to be. You're right, but it's not just another Oshkosh. They are really putting all their efforts into education, and it's something to see. It's the future of aviation.
You know, since we're talking about some changes, I will share with you, moving to Oshkosh, a change that will happen next year. They are going to relocate the ultralights. They're going to move them further back, and where they're at now currently will be vintage parking. And they will also give each of the type clubs a certain amount of spaces that they can park all together if they so choose.
Awesome.
So, you know, and if, gosh, it seems like every year folks are getting there earlier. I mean, sometimes even a Monday or Tuesday before Oshkosh even starts, just so they could be up close and parking. And so they're making some changes to accommodate and try to get type clubs parking up close. I was pretty excited to hear that. So. Yeah, is there anything else anyone wants to talk about? I can share a little update on my V-77 Gull Wing project.
Yeah.
Always great to hear that.
I'm a new guy here, and I appreciate you guys' time. I hope to see you at Sun and Fun, but I do have to run. Thank you so much, and I look forward to meeting you guys at Sun and Fun.
Thanks, John.
Take care.
Bye.
John, are you flying in?
I think he's gone.
Oh boy. Okay.
You're like,
Yeah. So we've got the fuselage completely covered now with the fabric. We have started painting the control surfaces in the primer, and we've got both wings that are ready to put fabric on, and we're looking at probably the second or third week of this month hanging the engine. So it's coming together.
Awesome.
We've got a goal of trying to get it there to Oshkosh. Don't know if we'll make that, but we're going to try. And so we're working on it every single day. I've got
when do you work, Jody?
What's that?
When do you work?
Yeah. I'm burning a lot of my candle at both ends, but you know, I've got other shops that are doing various components of part of the restoration. You know, things such as some painting, some mechanical work, things like that. At one time, I had as many as 10 shops working on this at the same time. So it's been quite a project, and I'm just we're not done with it, but I think it's going to be an awesome plane, and one that you know, I will be glad to give lots and lots of rides in it.
Awesome.
But
That's great. Hey
Eddie,
guys, I got to run. Take care.
See you, Bob. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Put us
Now,
on our
I
list
haven't
for
seen any-
rides, Jody.
Say again.
Put us on your list for rides.
Absolutely. So
Bring it to
if
Oshkosh.
if it's at Oshkosh, if we make it to Watertown, yeah, I'm gonna be giving rides to anyone who wants it. So
Beautiful.
Are you going to keep your -3 or?
so that's a bit up in the air right at the moment. I am somewhat thinking that I really don't need 2 planes. And so I just don't know right at the moment.
Yeah, at least you've got 2 different ones. I had 2 108s for a while, a -2 and a -3. That really didn't make sense, but
So, with the gas prices the way they're going, it's like, it might be worth hanging on to my -3. I don't know.
yeah, oh, that V-Bird will be thirsty.
Yeah. Eddie, how's your plane? Have you got any more hours on it?
It's running. Nope, I hadn't. Shut up, woman.
Who's muted now?
Hey, guys, he flew it.
I
He flew it
brought
from
it.
the airport.
I brought
Here.
it from Sulphur back to Elmore City, which is less than a 30-minute flight. But
Hey, but
as
it
soon as I got it
flew.
back, I basically downed it to get the avionics in shape on it. Wouldn't anything work. So now it's now it's almost working. I've talked to my radio shop yesterday, I guess, and he said that everything looks good now, and he's waiting on radio to come back from Val, and as soon as he gets it back, he'll be ready to put everything back in. So we'll see how that works. But
Congratulations.
I'm ready to get it going. That thing it's going to be what little bit I've flown it, I about half scared myself there. That thing has got some horses now. So it does not fly like the -3 that I remember. So a lot more rudder authority, a lot more elevator authority, got a lot more wind going across it, I guess. So
Well, stretch your legs a little bit. Come on down to Sun and Fun. Bring it on down. I'll find you a good parking
if I
spot.
get enough hours on it, I'm gonna consider it. But my wife has also said she's not sleeping on the ground all week either. So.
Well, there's that. Yeah.
No.
I'm hoping you go in your RV, Eddie, because I'm gonna maybe pitch a tent or do something close by your camp spot, because I will be at Sun and Fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
we'll
you
be
coming,
there.
Jody?
I am
Nice.
coming, but I'm not flying the Stinson. I'm just flying commercial.
Okay.
I'll get in Wednesday afternoon.
Midweek. Okay. Day 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
So yeah.
And Mark and Julie, I plan on flying our Stinson down. I'm just coming solo, but I'll be there.
Okay.
Very good.
Well, look us up. We'll be there all week. We get there Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Saturday
Cool.
to Saturday, right? For you?
For me.
We're coming
Yeah.
like
You, you're
3 or
gonna
4
be there
days in
Sunday.
advance, so we can find a camp spot.
We're gonna be there 2 or 3 days ahead of time.
Okay.
Excellent.
Super.
If we're parked on the very back end back there, we run generators. So
It's over a mile. I can attest to it. I walked it.
Eddie,
Well,
what are you gonna do for Oshkosh?
we've got reservations at Watertown, and we're gonna sleep on the ground at Oshkosh. We're gonna go spend some money on some cots and some sleeping pads and whatever else we need. Tent.
We're too old to be sleeping on the ground.
Well, Pat and I, what we now use is the new high-end inflatable air mattresses. I mean, some of these suckers are 20 inches thick and queen size, and they are comfortable as all get out and much more travelable than a fold-up cot or something. Check those out too.
Okay. Well, Amy says every time I get on the air mattress, it blows her off the other side.
He
So.
does.
Boom.
He bounces on, lays down, and I go, boop.
Oh, well.
It's a good thought.
It's not happening.
We're gonna make a trip to one of the outdoor stores and see if we can't spend some money and come up with something comfortable.
There you go.
That's the plan.
Hey, for everyone that's on here, are you planning on coming to Oshkosh or our Watertown gathering?
Yes.
We got our room.
Casey, Bob,
Casey,
okay.
good deal.
We got our room.
If somebody
Yeah,
wants
I've got
to
a
come help
room
me
at
clean,
Watertown.
polish airplane first.
Henry, go
I
ahead.
may,
He
I
has
may be
not-
coming, but if I do, I'll be camping. So it probably won't be a decision till last minute or close to it. So
All
Well, we
right.
hope you can make it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good, it's worth it if you can. I mean, certainly we always have a good time.
Casey, where's home for you?
Virginia Beach.
Okay. Well, you're ambitious. You're going to make both these fly-ins. That's good for you.
Well, I'm definitely doing Oshkosh, but I'm still up in the air about Sun and Fun. I'm trying to though. I'd like to.
Oh, that would be great. If you could make it, it's a wonderful spot.
Yeah, that's what I
I've,
hear.
I've been to every one. I've been to every Oshkosh and every Sun and Fun since 1998. And
Wow.
I actually prefer Sun and Fun, but it's just the people we work with, and we're so involved with volunteering down there. But they're both wonderful, wonderful clients.
Cool.
So we hope to see you.
Yeah, I'm also going to try and make this Triple Tree one. I'm too close to Triple Tree to not make that one. So
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
yeah.
Yeah, that was an all-day flight for me, but it can be done. So it's a long, long day.
Yeah.
I'm located in eastern Oklahoma.
Okay. Sentimental Journey also sounds pretty cool. I've got a friend up there that's got a Stinson, Scott Hauser. I don't know if he's been around to, I don't think he's been at the Sun and Fun since he's got his Stinson, but I think he's planning on going there this year. So he's up in Bradford County, which is just south of the New York border, Binghamton Airport there. So we'll probably both make Sentimental Journey this year.
oh, good.
Yeah, I refueled at Bradford County on my way to Oshkosh this past year.
Well, you may have seen him then. He's the airport manager there. So
Okay.
Good. Well, look us up if you do make it to Sun and Fun, because we'll have a couple of vehicles anyway. Julie have a rental car, and Sun and Fun provides me with a pickup truck typically. So
oh, cool.
we'll have transportation and we can show you around.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah. Hey, Mark, while you're on here, since I'm coming in, I'll be in a rental car. Where do you park one of those? Do you have just a parking area for Sun and Fun?
There is a parking area, but depending on where you are, we may be able to help you with that. So,
Okay.
so
I'll text you when I get close or give you a shout.
okay, sounds good.
Perfect.
Okay. It's have connections. So thank you.
Who you know? That's right.
Yeah.
Jody, I don't know if it would work or not, but I don't know if they'll let you come back and park with us or not.
You might be able to,
They might let you back to park with us.
Okay.
At our camp, so
since
Okay.
you're gonna camper,
they'll have all
you're
your
gonna
stuff
stay
there.
with us, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're pitching a tent, there, yeah. But let us know if you run into a snag. We'll see what we can do.
He's
Okay,
not gonna
alright.
pinch a tent by our camper. He's gonna sleep in the back. Go ahead.
He's gonna
We'll
eat
get
well
your
too. I
camping
know
gear.
that much.
That's less, well, yeah, you're gonna buy a commercial, so,
All he's limited to the carry on.
uh-huh.
That's it. Yeah. I am trying to get us a few hats made up for Oshkosh, and I meant to ask Bob Stillhammer. I think he was going to have a few made up as well, but if
Summer
not,
hats? Summer hats, not winter hats?
yes, I'm trying to get summer and winter hats both.
Okay, the
Yeah,
winter hats
look
are
at
hot.
Hey,
Wow.
Yeah, and we've got a few other things as well that I'll stuff in my bag. Henry, I don't know if you mentioned where's home for you?
I'm just south of Albany, New York, based grass field called Kleinkill Airport. Just near Columbia County Airport, just about 20 minutes south of Albany.
Okay.
There's a couple Stinsons there. So I'm going to try to get down the Sentimental Journey and drag a few folks with me if we can. Again, I think it'd probably be a camping situation for us. Not sure if we go the whole time, but there might be 3 or so from this neck of the woods that come down.
Hey, come on up to New Hampshire in August too for the windsock fly-in.
Yeah, I just put it in. I just put it in and tracked it, so it's about an hour and a half flight for me.
Yeah, I was going to say it was probably an hour and a half. It's a beautiful trip. Come on up.
Good. Sounds great. And I want to say, you know, I joined the club just about a year ago. Got back into flying and actually found the plane nearby here in Albany that belonged to my dad's best friend, who passed away in 2003, and somebody up here restored it. And I called them. I found an article in the paper, the Albany paper, and recognized the interior and the end number. Looked it up, and sure enough, I'm in the logbook. And I made friends with the guy and ended up buying it. And it's just been a great experience. But what's been wonderful has been all the work that you folks have done, and the videos that I mentioned. I've watched everything I could possibly gather from the Stinson site to all the YouTube presentations. I feel like I know Brett. We're old friends because I've seen you so many times. You don't know who I am, and same thing with you, Jody, and all this. I just want to say, for a newcomer to this, it's a huge resource that has really been invaluable for me. And I've connected with Jack Stewart and Gary Redden and Earl Allen, and all that as a result of being involved with this club. So, just to give you a real life new experience, it's really great. So thank you.
Well, we're glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you.
Got your money's worth out of the dues, didn't you?
Yeah, no kidding.
No, we appreciate that. And, it's, I think that the club, I don't want to say we were not doing anything, but we're way more busier than we were, certainly 5-6 years ago. Wouldn't you say, Bob? And
Yep. The thing that was active in the past was that Yahoo group, but Yahoo killed it, and it took the club a while to step in and fill the void, but they've done it.
yeah, I think so many guys that's on here and elsewhere, such as Randy and Brett and Mark and even Eddie and Amy there. We've all we've got a small part of trying to put this together, and there's many others across the world. And Henry, we have, like I said, a little over 700 members, and that is not just here in the U.S. That is from Australia, Canada. We have members in Brazil and the UK, as well as Spain, France.
Yeah.
It is quite impressive where we have members that are joining our group and actually meeting up at fly-ins.
Well, at the Stinson Summit, we had the guy from the UK a couple of years ago. Remember that?
Yes, I did. And Brett, I don't know if you were you on our annual call? I can't remember, but
No, I was not.
yeah. So that gentleman recently passed away.
Oh, wow. The guy
Yeah.
that was on the video?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, wow. Wow.
About, I guess that was about a month ago.
Huh. Wow.
Was that Paul? Are you talking about Paul?
No, not Paul. The other
Oh.
guy that came to the summit a few
Okay.
years ago.
Ian, was it?
I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but
Oh, the
Yeah.
Australian chap, Ian?
no, not Ian. This guy's from the UK,
Hmm.
but I can't remember. Paul described, what he had. I think it may have been brain cancer, something of that nature, but it was not good, But yeah, the summit, and just so you know, the summit kind of started somewhat. I would say, well, really, it was Gary Reed and I wanting to meet up after talking for so much, and said, "Hey, we're just all going to meet up here. Anyone want to join us?" And Brett, you joined us, not even having a Stinson,
Right.
and just kind of kicking the tires. And so it's kind of evolved from that, as like, well, why don't we put on some seminars here and have some technical sessions, and so that really has been nice to see that evolve. And then like I was saying, we've outgrown that place, and so we're moving it around. And by the way, if you've got some ideas, throw it out there. We're open to listening, where we want to have this the next year, because that's my goal, is to at least try to start making it around. It may not be exactly on like either the East Coast or West Coast, but we'll try to move it somewhere within at least a day's flying of either side. Because right here in the central U.S., if you're coming from the East Coast, that's a good haul, and we get that. And even coming from up north, Mark and Julie, y'all came last year and flew commercial, but that's even a long haul, even near Stinson. So I think Quincy is going to maybe attract a few that will be coming from the north that hasn't came before. And and so I think once you've been and you start, seeing what's going on, you'll want to go next year. So,
For sure. We've been to two now?
yeah,
Yeah, I think 2 in a row.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, it has been 2.
And yeah, Quincy, I plugged it in on ForeFlight while we were sitting here, and I think it's a 3-hour flight, 3.5, something like that. So it's doable for us in Quincy. So we are putting it in our calendar.
Be about 10 hours of flying for me.
But you're retired, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're both working, so we don't have that luxury. But talking about the membership, we've only been in 3 years, I guess, but it's the best bang for the buck. And I think Jody and Brett owe a lot of credit to them. Brett's the consummate promoter, and Jody, you're just always pushing the envelope and getting things going, and we sure appreciate it. And it's a very good value for us.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. But it's a group effort. So everybody pulls together and makes it happen. So I'm a little concerned about, like that comment about Facebook, because I'm off Facebook, and we're going to have somebody that's constantly on there, because I really think that's what drove the attendance. Because literally every time after I would do a video, I'd get 1 or 2 more RSVPs to sign up for the event. So somebody's gonna have to do that for the next event.
Hey, Brett, we may talk with Randy and do the same exact kind of RSVP that we've had into place before,
Sure.
and just kind of move that to Quincy.
Sure.
If you don't mind.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's fine. But what I meant is constantly promoting it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, to do that, you got to be on Facebook, and it sounds like Brett's sworn off of Facebook.
I'm off.
Yeah.
I'll talk Randy into doing that.
Yeah, good. Good.
Well, we miss you, Brett. Miss seeing you on there all the time, but I understand.
Some people don't, though. Mark Zuckerberg, he doesn't miss me.
Yeah,
No.
I've got family in tech industry, and they all filled me in years ago on how much of your privacy is invaded by that operation. So I've never been on it. Pat does it
Yeah.
for me. She'll say, "Hey, someone's asking a Stinson question. Can you answer it?" But,
Goodness. Hey, speaking of Facebook, did anyone on here see my post a couple days ago on the
Was it
the
about your
master
brake master cylinder?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a little scary looking.
yeah, yeah. So we're kind of taking a few things out around the panel, and we're doing some painting, and it's like, well, let's just pull this off. And so that was pulled off, and that master cylinder had been there since like 2006. And now keep in mind, I have only on this plane about a year and a half, and I've never flown it. So for you guys don't know what I'm talking about, the master cylinder was it was in this bracket, and the bolt went through the bracket and had a cotter pin on the other side behind the nut, but it was not through the hole that is on the master cylinder. So it was just literally hanging in place, essentially by where the hoses were kind of centering it.
wow.
So, yes.
Check and double check.
So that could have been a bit of an interesting ride.
Left turn, Clyde.
Yeah, no doubt.
Close enough
Well, and-
doesn't work there.
And Murphy's Law would have it where the damn thing would work for you for a little while before it fell off of the bolt it
Yeah.
was balanced on.
Oh
As
gosh,
opposed
that
to
would
not-
make me sick to fly it for just a little while after getting it put together, and then have a ground loop. Yeah, that would be bad.
There wouldn't be a person out there that believed that brake caused that ground loop either.
No.
That'd be a hard one to sell.
Yes.
On the maintenance deal, real quick, the last Stinson I had, got it in for annual. Not this one, not my 470 plane, it's one previous Stinson. It still had the 1947 date code brake lines from the metal to the gear leg. There's just where that gear leg pivots, there's a hose there. It still had the 1947 date codes on those hoses.
That's one of the first things I did when I got my previous Stinson was replace those lines, and they were hard as a rock.
Yeah.
So I suspect they were original 47 also.
Testament to good stuff they built back then, I guess.
Yeah, they made it better back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of mine failed, and I was taxiing along a hangar, and of course it was the one that failed that was driving me into the hangar, and I came within about 3 inches of running into the hangar. So yeah,
Wow.
something that's often overlooked.
It is.
Well, even people who are diligent, the adage is, if it's 6 or 8 years old, replace it if it's a rubber hose. I think everyone's thinking under cowling, oil lines, fuel lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got all these other flex lines in the airplane too.
Yep.
You're right.
You want to get really scared, go looking under your panel
Mm.
in most planes.
I agree.
Speaking of panel, I took out, I'll probably make another post on this, but the radios and avionics instruments that I took out, I weighed them here the other day. This is not the wiring. I took out 58 pounds.
Oh,
And I bet you what I've went back with is probably no more than 10 pounds at the most.
Yeah.
And has quintuple the capabilities.
Yes, yeah. So
at
I've
least.
got two AV30s. I've got 2 CGR 30s, which are the engine monitors, an altimeter, a whiskey compass, and the original airspeed indicator. Oh, and I've
So
got
you got a 2 for a Christmas present for your airplane, didn't you? From
I did, yeah.
UAvionics.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on the tail beacon X. That's going to be my ADS-B.
Mm-hmm.
And your
I
Mode
do-
S transponder.
Yeah, so that's going to be sweet.
It's amazing, this modern stuff. I put an AV30 into my otherwise stock 1948 Stinson panel, and I have on a bracket mounted on one of the fuselage tubes, an iFly GPS 740B, and I have it talking to the AV30 with a USB cord. And I have more information. Oh, and a Stratix download thing for the ADS-B weather and all that. Driving around in my 73-year-old airplane, I have more information available to me than I had flying a 4-engine jet all over the world in the early 1970s. It's unbelievable.
Mm.
Yeah, you know, here a while back when we did the I guess it was the AV30 or UAvionics Zoom call. I know of several. I'm going to say somewhere in the neighborhood of about, I know of at least 10 folks that bought AV30s from that Zoom call. And
Wow.
if y'all seen it, that's a very, very informative Zoom call to watch.
That was a good meeting. We were tempted.
Oh, it's a magnificent device, amazing piece of kit.
Folks, I'm gonna have to sign off. Great talking to you all. Appreciate all you do and look forward
Hey,
to
Henry.
meeting you all in per- in
Thanks,
person.
Henry.
Great.
See ya.
Yep, afraid
See
I
you
gotta
soon.
get going also.
All
Bye,
right.
gang.
I will see you guys. Appreciate you very much. And Mark, I'll see you at Sun and Fun. Brett, I'll see you
Yeah.
at Sun and Fun. And
Yep.
Eddie, I'll see
And
you and
Eddie.
Amy.
Eddie and Amy,
We'll be down there.
Jody, Brett, hopefully
Yep.
Casey.
Yeah, or if not, I'll see you guys at Oshkosh for sure.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
Hey,
Jody,
right,
if you
thank you, guys.
need us to haul anything down, just let me know and we can meet somewhere up on the turnpike there or wherever. So,
Okay. All right. Yeah, appreciate it.
all right.
I'll be
Sounds
talking with
good.
you, Eddie.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
See ya.
Good night.